2025 credit repair secrets nobody wants you to know about. I am exposing them all in this 25-part series. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. If you are new here, make sure that you have subscribed. Give me a huge thumbs up and let me know if you are enjoying this series. Now, in part 20 of this 25-part series, we are talking about charge-offs. Now, charge-offs have a lot of controversy out there, and a lot of people simply have a misunderstanding. So let's just clear it up. What a charge-off is say you have a credit obligation, whether that's a credit card, a loan, or some sort of debt that you agreed to pay back and you quit paying it. Well, at about 120 days, usually that's about 4 months, maybe even 6 months, they will eventually realize that, hey, we're not going to get a payment from this person, so we're going to go ahead and charge this debt off. Okay. Now, what that means is it's not charged off and you just don't have to pay it because they charged it off. What that means is now it's in a charge off collection status. It's a very bad thing. It's a derogatory status. It continues to haunt you. It continues to hurt you for as long as that is reporting a balance. Now, sometimes what happens is they will try to collect on it in-house for a while before they sell it to a third-party debt collection company. Now, once they sell it to a third-party debt collection company, then it becomes a collection. Then update the balance to 0 because you can't have two companies trying to collect the same account. All right. But while you still have your charge off that is reporting an account balance, which is from the original creditor. So say you took a Capital One credit card and you just never paid it back. Well, now you've got a charge off with Capital One. Now, the great thing about this is they're probably not going to sell it for a while. So what you could potentially do is contact Capital One or whoever the original creditor is that is reporting this charge off with a balance on your credit report and ask them to forgive the debt. I like to send in a letter, contact the CEO, look up the CEO's information. I gave you guys how to look up CEO information when I talked about late payments in this 25-part series. So watch the entire playlist. I have the playlist linked below, so check out the description of this video and you can watch all 25 parts and get access to this guide so you don't have to watch all 25 parts. But if you want to watch all 25 parts, you got to put in the time to learn, okay? So request the debt be forgiven. It's not a guarantee that they, are going to forgive it, and it's not required that they forgive it, but you can continuously ask them to forgive the debt so they don't sell it to another collection company, and it will then update the balance to 0. So they write it off on their taxes as bad debt. Now, anything over $600 that is forgiven, they being the creditor, must issue what's called a 1099, right? They have to issue you a 1099-C, and then you may or may not be liable to pay taxes on that said 1099. Now, in this guide, I kind of give you guys who would qualify for, paying taxes on it and who would not, right? And that kind of trickles us over into part 21 of this is forgiven debt and how to handle that and who would be responsible for paying taxes on this 1099-C. Because say, for example, you get a mortgage modification, right? And, if you have any amount of your mortgage that is forgiven, you're going to get what's called a 1099-C as long as it's over $600. So I actually owned a home many years ago and I was in the Obama home affordability program. I finally qualified for a loan modification. So if you are in modification or you're trying to qualify for modification, just keep on applying. So they finally approved my modification, and they also gave me a really great interest rate and forgave, it was either like $75,000 or $100,000 on my mortgage. So I was super excited about them forgiving such a high amount of funds on my mortgage. And then I got a 1099 in the mail. And I realized with my tax person that I had to pay taxes on this huge forgiven debt. And it was like $7,000 $10,000 that I had to pay in taxes on this forgiven debt. So it was a lot of money. So, just understand, if it's a lot and you forgive it, you might be liable for paying taxes on it. But that's essentially how it works. If it's for a lower amount, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You still have to report it to your taxes, but it's not like you're going to be paying a ton on it. But essentially, even if your debt is not forgiven, you're still going to be responsible for this charge off. So I always like to tell people, if it belongs to you and this is your debt, settle the debt. Settle the charge off. That's the best thing that you can do, because you're wasting your time on credit repair with a charge off that is valid, that does belong to you. So what I would do is make a settlement offer, contact the original creditor and say, hey, I have this amount that you've reported to my credit. I don't agree with it, but I want to make a settlement offer. And usually you can settle debt for anywhere between 20 to 50 cents on the dollar. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but I give you the information that you need to know, not what you want to hear, okay? Because this is the truth. Sometimes you're not ready for the truth, but you want to go pay this guy $1,500 because he's going to sell you a bunch of horse manure. And guess what? They're just going to claim identity theft or trafficking victim to get it off. And that could come back. So, I always recommend people settling their charge-offs. Collections are much easier to get removed because a lot of times they don't have the validation to prove it, so they got to remove it. But when you're dealing with charge-offs, they are with the original creditor. So they are a lot harder to battle. And in most cases, once you settle it, it's no longer going to be reporting as a derogatory. It's going to then update as a zero balance. And it doesn't matter if you pay the thing in full or you just make a settlement offer. Either way, they're going to update the balance to zero. And if you pay it in full, it's not going to make your credit score any higher. So just settle it for a super low amount, negotiate some terms, and most importantly, take action. If for some reason the bank doesn't agree to send you a 1099, you're like, hey, I am kind of combining 20 and 21 together. I asked for forgiveness. They didn't do it. Well, go back to charge off and say, hey, I just got to settle my debt, just to get it behind you, because it's costing you more right now than you're probably even aware of. Okay. So if they're not willing to forgive the debt and issue you a 1099-C, so that way the balance updates to zero. And once they have issued a 1099, guess what? They can't collect on it anymore. There's nothing to sell. There's nothing to collect on. It's done. It's forgiven. So get this form, review it, guys, because information is the new gold. The more that you are educated about things, especially if this is something that you plan to do, you want to have a credit repair business or you want to repair your own credit, whatever the case may be, you need to know this type of information, because a lot of other people out there like to, misinterpret things. I don't know what it is really, but the bottom line is sometimes it's just easier to settle these old charge-off debts than it would be to pay for credit repair, or, even for you to tell your clients, like, look, if we want to get this thing done faster, you just have to settle this account. Call this creditor and just settle it. Just pay it. A lot of times it's for, a fairly lower amount anyway. So it's really just honestly costing them more at this point than anything. So I hope that helped. Make sure to watch all 25 videos in this 25-part playlist. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. Make sure that you've subscribed. Give me a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.